Does it though? It does to me. And I hope and pray it does to you. What's up, guys? It is Thursday, July 25th, 2024. I'm going to be honest with you guys about something today. I wore this shirt on purpose. Constitution matters, man. And this country was built on a lot of things, okay? A lot of good things, I believe. I know we're not perfect, but I love this country. And I believe it's the greatest experiment mankind has ever seen. And I am not happy today for several reasons, and I'm going to get into it. First of all, I want to start off with Donald Trump. Now, let me say this. I come from an American standpoint. Again, an American standpoint. I don't come from a standpoint where it's Democrat, Republicans, red versus blue, liberal versus conservatives. I don't play that game. My team is the red, white, and blue, and I come from an American standpoint, first and foremost, when it comes to this country. God, family, country, right? And I don't like what Donald Trump is doing right now. I don't like several things he's doing right now. First, let me talk about this little beef he's got going on. He started with the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele.
Llevamos 8 meses en esta guerra contra las pandillas. Y gracias a Dios, la estamos ganando. Esta es una victoria demasiado sorprendente que está ahí cerca. Que quede claro que la gloria es para Dios y que es de Dios. Nosotros, los seres humanos, tenemos la dicha de ser instrumentos de Dios, todos nosotros, para llevarle paz, libertad y felicidad al pueblo salvadoreño.
Now that's a guy that I really, really like, man. And before I get into it, let me say this. Let me tell you where I'm coming from, okay? Let me say this. Donald Trump is not my first choice to be president. And I'm going to say this out of anger because this is why he wasn't my number one choice. My number one choice was Vivek Ramaswamy.
Mr. Ramaswamy, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Roberts.
This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why you?
Hands down, I think he would have been a better president.
Tim,
but it's just not his time right now. I mean, he's young, articulate, smart as hell. And I think he had the best policies for this country. I really do. He had all the good things that Trump had without all the bad. We picked Trump, and that's okay for 2024 through 2028. I will be 100% behind Donald Trump, but he was not my first choice. And if I had to pick a global leader around the world to run our country, let's just say this person can be born a U.S. citizen, my first choice would be Vivek. My second choice would be Bukele, and then Donald Trump. So I hold those two in high regard. So all you people that think that I'm just this Donald Trump stan and I follow Trump blindly, I don't. I call out bullshit when I see bullshit. And Trump is doing a couple things I don't like. Full disclosure, I donate to Donald Trump every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Well, today I stopped donating to him as for right now because I don't like what he's doing. I emailed the Trump team today and aired out my grievances with them because I don't like what's going on. And again, I am just one out of millions and millions of people. I'm not a political advisor, but if I was, I would definitely give him some advice that I will talk about later. Let me tell you the first gripe I got with Donald Trump is his beef with Nayib Bukele. I think that's false. I don't think, now again, I don't have any insider information, but I don't think Nayib Bukele is sending his worst to America. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I believe he's a good man. I believe he's a hell of a leader, hell of a president. He's the closest thing alive today, him and Vivek Ramaswamy, to our founding fathers. I really believe that, living and breathing today. And for the things that he's actually done in his country, I believe Bukele in his tenure has done more than Donald Trump did. And Donald Trump has done a lot, but he did not drain the swamp. There's a lot of things that he said he was going to do. Now, again, partly because you just can't in America in 4 years because there's just so much bad things going on. Now, again, you Donald Trump people out here that just love Donald Trump and follow me because of that, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump, okay? Let me be clear. I probably donated to him more than you have. And I'm not saying that to try to dish you or anything, but again, I got to call it the way I see it. And I criticized Donald Trump a lot in 2020. I did not like a lot of things that he did, especially with COVID. I did not like it. I didn't like how he told people to take the jab and how he had Dr. Fauci with him. And a lot of things I didn't like. I don't like the way he printed a bunch of money and got us into tons of debt and started off this massive inflation, gave people free stuff, stimulus checks and stuff like that. Again, he didn't print as much or give as much free stuff as Biden. But again, as a businessman, he knows better than to do those things that he did. And again, I'm just not with that kind of stuff from a finance standpoint, because again, I am fiscally conservative, very conservative fiscally. And I do not like what Donald Trump is saying about Bukele. Now, again, I don't have any insider information. Is that true, what he's saying about him? Is he really sending his worst? I don't know, but I don't think so, right? I just don't believe that.
Y nosotros somos el instrumento para sanar esta tierra. Cada uno de ustedes son un instrumento de Dios para hacerlo. La paz no se consigue firmando acuerdos entre corruptos, repartiéndose el poder entre asesinos. La paz se construye con trabajo, con sudor, con esfuerzo y con la valentía que tienen ustedes y sus hermanos policías. Debe tener algo que le indica que uno es parte de algo más importante que uno mismo y que vale la pena arriesgar la vida, por eso que es más importante que uno mismo. Son valores como la valentía, como el coraje, como la fortaleza, la disciplina, el patriotismo, el honor, la lealtad, el amor por el prójimo. Son valores fundamentales de la sociedad humana, pero son valores que se están perdiendo cada vez más en el mundo.
But if it's not true, right, because, you know, you got to put a percentage on it. It could be true, it could be not true. I put a very low percentage on it being true, less than 1%, right? So let's stick to the 99+% that it's not true, right? If it's not true, And why is Donald Trump saying this? Why would he say something like this against Bukele? Now, again, my allegiances are to the United States of America first and foremost, and I'll get into that later in the video. But I don't like him doing that with who I consider one of our allies. Now, again, El Salvador is compared to the United States of America, they're just a tiny, tiny country, guys. They just are. We have a lot of states that are bigger than El Salvador. There's only a few million people there for the total population. But what this man has done cannot be understated. You cannot deny what this man has done. His country started off way worse than the United States. He's going in one direction while we're going in another. The United States of America, and again, to Donald Trump, credit, he did do a good job, but not as good as Bukele. He just didn't, objectively speaking. And again, my allegiances are to the United States of America, but I can be objective about this, right? Again, I love Trump, but Bukele has done a lot more with less and far less time. He just has.
And he takes office and he gets the legislative branch to give him special powers for a special period, for a limited time. And he uses it to go out and round up all the gang members and put 30 or 40,000 of them in jail. And guess what? All of a sudden, the crime rate has plummeted. All of a sudden, the murder rate has plummeted. All of a sudden, for the first time in decades, people can go out at night. All of a sudden, for the first time in decades, people don't have to pay extortion money to a gang anymore.
And if you look at what's going on in this country today, and again, this is not Trump's fault. This is Biden's fault, of course, or the puppeteer's fault. And plus, you know, Trump was handcuffed in the office because, again, he's dealing with a lot of evil people up there. Bukele has done, objectively speaking, a really, really good job without the handcuffs and everything else that Donald Trump has gone through, right? So why would Trump say these things? Why is he saying this? Is he jealous?
So El Salvador is an interesting one because I know the president. He's a young guy, and he's been getting this great press that his crime rate's way down, and they're training their criminals. Well, you don't train criminals, okay? You know, maybe every once in a while you get lucky, but you don't. So in El Salvador, murders are down 70%. He's saying, yes, we're teaching. He's different. Most of them just say, well, the United States is stupid, so we're dumping all our criminals there. He does it differently, smart. He goes, we're working with our people that are causing problems and crime. And he's not working with them, he's dumping them in the United States. And their crime rate, their murder rate is down 72%, 73% and going up. And I don't blame him because if I was running one of those countries, and we're not just talking in South America, but if I were running one of those countries, I would have been doing it much more. They're also emptying their jails. The big thing is their jails. Those jails were packed. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, isn't this wonderful? They're doing such a wonderful job. They're dumping their criminals into the United States of America, and we're not going to take it anymore.
Is he trying to spark up something controversial? I don't know, but he did the same thing to a lot of people. He did a lot of this to a lot of Republicans that are on his side. He did it to Vivek Ramaswamy right before he dropped out because he heard Vivek Ramaswamy tell people, and I probably would have been mad too about this if I was Trump. Honestly speaking, Vivek told a few people, you need to vote for me. If you love Trump, you need to vote for me, because if you don't vote for me, they're going to take Trump out, and they're not going to have this guy on the ballot. They're going to do everything they can to get him off.
Yeah, I know you have, and I love that you're a fellow constitutionalist, and you ask them very good questions. Go right to the heart of it.
Yes, and I'm telling you,
thank you, sir.
They're scared of you. Just
they
like
are.
They're scared of Trump.
Oh,
they are scared.
And they will stop at nothing, but we're not going to let them get away with it. I've got fresh legs. I'm not wounded. And they're not going to let this man do it.
You know, when you said eliminate, that gave me a chill. Because I'm scared.
Because you think it's false, or because you think it's true?
I think it's true. Yeah. I think they will stop at nothing to stop that. Stop Trump.
It's sad, but it's the truth. It's the sad, but it's the truth. So I'm asking you to do your part, and we're going to.
You know, when
we can do this. We can do this.
Yeah. They say, "How do you feel about the United States?" And I say, "I'm worried and I'm fearful."
My job that you don't have to feel that way in this country.
But we're losing it.
We're losing
it.
It pains me to hear that.
We need people like you. Young,
we're
vibrant.
Do this. And that's where our founding fathers were.
Yes.
It's 1776 moment, so I want your support at that Iowa caucus.
I get emotional over that.
I'm emotional about this country. I need your support on Monday night. You do this, I'm going to do my part.
Okay, you're picking at my shell. You are.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've got commitments.
It's about this country. I know. It's about this country. You want to save Trump, you vote for me. I'm telling you that. You vote for Trump. You're sending him.
He's a sledgehammer.
No, but you're sending him to his own demise. You're falling into the trap that not only a country's falling in, that he's falling. You want to save Trump, you vote for me. I need your support at the Iowa caucus.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
It's not an argument, it's the truth. Do the right thing for him and for this country. That's what I'm asking you for.
I will consider.
Thank you.
That's the first.
And I agree with that. And obviously you can see Trump's not supposed to be here today. He's just not. And once Trump heard that from Vivek, because again, Trump is a ruthless son of a bitch, man. He is he's Trump, okay? You guys know how he is. Ruthless businessman and a big narcissist and a big ego. He basically said, Vivek is not MAGA, guys. Don't vote for him. Just, separate MAGA. And a lot of MAGA people got away from Vivek because their king told them to. I did not. I didn't like the way he attacked Vivek, and I made a video about it. I called Trump out about that stuff, man. And again, I call it like I see it, man. I don't have any blind allegiance to any man in this country. Even if Vivek started screwing up and messing up, I'd call him out too. The only thing that I'm allegiant to is God and this country. And the reason I like Trump, because I believe right now he's the best for our country, widely speaking, because most people believe that. And I have to go realistically with Donald Trump because everybody voted for him. And I got to get on board with that. But again, I would much rather have Vivek. So my thoughts, why is he doing it? I don't know. I'm going to do some more research. Donald Trump's obviously speaking in a couple of days at the Bitcoin conference that started today. Bukele, what he's done for his country. I didn't even mention what he's done with Bitcoin. Bukele can teach Donald Trump a few things, man.
Si ustedes ven noticias internacionales, se van a dar cuenta cómo los valores más importantes que tiene el ser humano, como el honor, la lealtad, la valentía, el coraje, el amor por el prójimo, son precisamente los valores que cada día se pierden más, que cada día hay menos. Y por eso ven como sociedades que parecía que ya lo habían logrado, ahora se van degradando, porque están perdiendo los valores que los hicieron grandes. Valores que probablemente no eran fuertes en esta tierra, y sí eran fuertes en otras tierras. Y por eso es que esas tierras crecieron y se hicieron grandes. Pero esos valores los están perdiendo ellos ahora. Y por el contrario, en El Salvador, los valores que antes estaban degradados en nuestro país, ahora son los más importantes. Y si no, mírense ustedes, hombres y mujeres jóvenes, que tienen todos estos valores. ¿Cómo no va a surgir una nación con valores así? ¿Cómo no va a surgir una nación que pone primero a Dios y que luego pone su trabajo y su esfuerzo con este tipo de valores?
I'll leave that for now. I will tell you why in a few days, why I think, or if something new comes up, I'll tell you why I think Donald Trump has done that to Bukele. But right now, what I actually think, without all the information, I just think he's trying to stir up something. I think he may believe that about Bukele. But the problem is, Matt Gaetz, who's Donald Trump's ally, who was America First Patriot congressman.
I'm Congressman Matt Gaetz from Florida, and I serve on our committees in the Congress that deal with the military and our justice system. The people in the United States of America are very grateful for the state of exception, and we're grateful that CCOT exists so that these criminals are not harming the people of El Salvador or harming the people of the United States. A lot of the people behind me would have found a way to make their way to the United States and harm Americans. And we are grateful to President Bukele and his administration for establishing security and the state of exception, and for all the good work that the people do here to keep everyone else safe. El Salvador is a country on the rise because people are safe and they are hopeful and they will be prosperous and they will grow great families and great churches and great businesses. And all of that is possible because the people here are not committing the murders and committing the rapes and the robberies and all the things that stop a strong country from standing up and fulfilling its great destiny. Well, in past years, I think the United States Congress has been too willing to lump El Salvador in with Honduras and Guatemala on our policies. And we formed the El Salvador caucus because El Salvador deserves its own respect. it deserves its own relationship directly with the United States that isn't colored by what else is going on in Central America or with your neighbors. We think the good ideas in El Salvador actually have legs and can go to other places and help other people be safe and secure and hopeful and prosperous. There's a lot more discipline in this prison than we see in a lot of the prisons in the United States. And there are a lot more murderers here. The people here have been doing a lot of killing. And in the United States, you get a mix in prison of people who've done a variety of things. But this is a concentrated effort to solve what was a terrible problem for the people of El Salvador. And so this is the solution. The solution is to separate the killers from the people who want to grow in their life and do more things for their neighbors and for their country.
Donald Trump Jr. loves Bukele. We're gonna have to peel back the layers, but as of now, I'm not really sure, but if I had to guess, it's probably because he's trying to stir some shit up. All right, I gotta go, guys. My phone's overheating. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you and your family. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, all right? God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States of America. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.